Hello and welcome to Etheric Cord Cutting number 2. This etheric cord cutting is for S. Etheric cords can develop between anyone that we have or had a relationship with of any kind, whether it's romantic, a friendship, even acquaintances. They can also develop to places and sometimes even objects that we are attached to in some way. Now, as you can see here, we have the lower portion of the human body. This is a full figure that I am looking at. However, I cannot bring my camera back further than this, so if I am viewing something above basically the waist, then I will pick up the camera and move it for you so that you can see. Also, as to make the session short, I will be editing this video to cut out any long pauses or silences, as there really is no need or point for you to watch or listen to like a minute or more of time that I spend trying to focus and find more cords to cut. Also, as you may possibly be able to notice, that my voice isn't coming through the camcorder audio. That's because when I edit this, I will actually be cutting out the audio from the camera and instead editing in an audio track from my headset that I'm wearing right now. And this is that because when I do an etheric cord cutting, I get in such a relaxed state that my voice gets softer and lighter. Like right now, you may think it's soft and light, but it will lightly get even quieter. And sometimes it goes into such a whisper that it hopefully won't be too hard for you to hear me, but it's something that if I speak loudly, it could potentially bring me out of the relaxed state that I'm in order to see and sense these etheric cords. Also, as I do advise watching this video in its entirety, because a lot of people feel that when they watch or listen to the session, it's almost as if the cords are being cut at that exact moment. And people like that because it makes them feel like they're potentially right in front of me as I'm cutting these cords. Now, there are 6 steps to my current etheric cord cutting method. Step 1 involves me matching my vibration with yours in order to see and cut cords. In step 2, I call upon Archangel Michael to assist me in cutting cords. These can be cords that I pick up on and sometimes cords that I do not see. So this will help assure that all cords will be cut with the assistance of Archangel Michael, whether I see them or not. It does not matter. Archangel Michael will assist me in cutting ones that I am not able to see for whatever reason. Now, step 3 is where I will detect a cord and cut it. Now, step 4 happens on occasion, but not always, and sometimes I will sense something from it, whether it's people, places, things, emotions, thoughts, visions, voices, etc. If I sense something about that cord, I will let you know. It doesn't always happen. For example, sometimes I might be able to say, well, here's just a cord I see, I'll cut this. Sometimes I'll be able to pick up on if it's a relative or a friend. Other times it could just be a place or emotions from it, like I sense a lot of anger from this. It could be things along that line. Like I said, this doesn't happen with all cords, so it may or may not happen often in your etheric cord cutting or not. Now, step 5 is where I will actually walk you through releasing this cord, and this usually is the most healing part of the etheric cord cutting, as you get to almost get that feeling that the cord is being cut then and there. Even though you'll be watching this after the fact, a lot of people, like I said, they like having that feeling of being able to really let go and just kind of almost feel the cords being cut and dropping off. And I will basically end up rinsing and repeating step 3 through 5 for each cord. After that, I will do step 6, after all the cords are cut, which is envisioning you surrounded by light in order to heal, protect you, and cleanse you. And what I describe as, your etheric energy field. It's that whole protection, healing, and cleansing of your etheric energy field. And occasionally, as there is a 7th step of sorts, which only happens where a cord is too thick to be cut. This occurs when either you or another individual are unwilling to cut a cord, release it, let the past be the past, let bygones be bygones, and so on. Sometimes the cords are so thick that even Archangel Michael cannot cut them. In this instance, I will ask the other person's spirit to let go and be willing to cut the cord. I will then ask Archangel Michael to remain with you to cut the cord as soon as possible. Also, it's important to remember that cords of love cannot be cut. Cutting a cord is simply releasing the unhealthy part of the relationship, allowing you to move on from such negativity. Now, let's get started. So right now, I'm trying to match my vibration with you so that I'm able to pick up and see any cords. This may take a little while. Now, I'm almost feeling as if you have what I want to call very busy energy. Kind of like go, 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 I have to do this, this, this. Almost like at times it's hard for you to actually settle down. It's also almost like you possibly have a lot of anxiety. As I almost feel like, doing something, how a lot of people have that thing that they do when they're very anxious or nervous even. That little, I'm not sure what the actual term is for it. Kind of like if someone plays with their hair, or I know for me it's playing with a piece of cloth or something like my shirt or cloth of my pants. And a lot of this could possibly be caused by your etheric cords that you have attached to others, because you could be picking up on their feelings. Okay. Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Please cut the cords of fear that are draining S's energy and vitality. Thank you. Okay. Now, as immediately I'm being drawn, right here, and around this area is your heart chakra. I'm feeling a lot of etheric cords kind of attached to that chakra. Often they will attach to your chakras, especially your 7 primary chakras. And I'm feeling you have quite a few that I'm just kind of feeling, and I think a lot of your anxiety is really coming from this. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to talk about first. Okay, well, this one that keeps popping up, it's almost like I keep hearing ex. Now, this could possibly be an ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, any sort of, I feel like it's more romantic than just a friendship. And I really feel like you have such a strong and thick cord attached to this person, and that they seem to be a very anxious and nervous type person, and it's like this, okay, cords can basically pass, feelings and just a lot of emotions and thoughts and negativity even between the cords. So if someone is feeling sick or angry, upset, anxious, nervous, tired, they can pass those feelings through the etheric cord to you, and you can get that sort of feeling as well. Even though it is not your own, you are still feeling it because of this cord. And I'm almost feeling as if this person is passing a lot of anxiety and nervousness to you through this cord. And it's almost as if from out of the blue, you just randomly will get nervous or anxious, and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, where is this coming from? I don't really know. Like there isn't really a reason sometimes. And I'm feeling this is from a past romantic relationship with an ex. So I'm going to take a moment here to focus on the cord, and I'm going to cut through it. I'm also going to ask Archangel Michael to assist me on this one. Surprisingly, I thought it would be a lot tougher than it was. Now, please take some deep breaths and be willing to release all toxic energies related to this individual who I believe is your ex. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay. I feel like there are possibly 2 more cords I see right now connected to your heart chakra, so I'm going to try to jump into those as well. Now, this other one I feel comes more from a family member. I think I heard mother really fast. Let's see. And I also hear aunt. It's almost like, I don't know. I'm feeling more towards mother. So it's either your mother, or if you had an aunt that was like a mother to you, it could be her. Now, I don't, like I said, this will not cut any cord of love that you have for this family member. However, any sort of negativity that could be passed through this cord, that's the cord that will be cut. Any negative part. And I heard forgiveness. And I'm almost kind of wondering if this could mean them forgiving you or you forgiving them. And that perhaps there's some sort of small grudge that has been held. So I'm going to ask Archangel Michael to help me with this one. And we're cutting the cord. And this is a very tough one. Okay, I'm feeling like it's not wanting to exactly cut. This may be one of what some people like to call the stubborn cords. So I'm feeling like this one may not cut and that it may take some time. So please take some deep breaths and be willing to release all toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. And because this cord is resisting being cut by myself and Archangel Michael, this is something that needs to basically be let go by you and the other person. So what I do now is I'm going to send that message to their soul and to your soul that this is an issue that needs to be dropped and this cord needs to be cut. Now, S, I would like for you to say, I am willing to release all fear and unforgiveness so that I may experience peace instead of pain. Okay. I'm already feeling it lighten up a bit. So Archangel Michael will stay with you and remain with you until this cord can be cut. Now, the third cord, which is really the last one that I'm sensing right now on your heart chakra, I'm feeling male energy, but I can't really tell if it's like a family member or a friend or a lover. I'm not like sensing anything specific. It's just a male that you cared for a lot and that cared for you a lot. So that can of course be a very broad range and very, general in a sense. So I'm going to cut through this cord. Okay. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay. Now, another thing that just popped out at me right now is right over here, which is your left knee. I'm almost feeling as if, and you may be like, left this on the right, but when I'm looking at this individual, I'm more seeing it as if you were standing in front of me, facing towards me. So on my right is your left. There is a very rare occurrence, though, where when I'm doing one of these, at a distance, when I feel like it's on the left side, it's actually on the right side. I actually had one person say to me, everything you said was right, except it was on the opposite side of the body. So I could say, you have a pain in your left shoulder, and it's actually all in your right shoulder. You get pain in your left knee, but it's actually in your right knee. But usually this is as I would see it here. So I'm feeling your left knee. Now this could be an area that you have pain in, or it could not be. Sometimes we feel the pain from it, sometimes we don't. For example, if a lot of cords are connected around our shoulder area, we may or may not feel a lot of shoulder pain. But here I'm feeling left knee. Okay, I'm feeling like this is an old friendship, possibly one that, like someone that you haven't talked to in years, but someone that I think you and the other person, someone that you think about often, they think about you often, but it's almost like this relationship, this friendship didn't end on a good note at all, and that it was more just like it was just dropped, and both of you kind of went your separate ways, and it's almost like the feeling of you wanting to reunite with this person, be friends again, and really let bygones be bygones, but at the same time, it's kind of funny because I must feel like, well, I want to still be right. I still want to win this, this fight or something. And that's almost like the feeling I get from it, and that you don't want to be the first one to really make the, the first move. So I'm going to cut through this cord, and this could potentially bring back the friendship, let the communication lines kind of open up. It could cause you to think more about this potential, friendship that I'm seeing. So it may or may not bring the friendship back. But I'm going to be cutting this cord of any negativity. Okay, S. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay. Now, the next area that kind of popped out as soon as I opened my eyes back up, I tend to do a lot of this after I sense the area. I tend to close my eyes a lot. And right now, what popped up is your right hand. And instantly, when I saw that, I heard freedom. So I almost feel like there's someone in your past that tried to, hold you back from that freedom, that tried to control you. To an extent, it could be what you said, what you did, maybe if you wrote, but I feel like this person really tried to control you. And I heard control issues. This could be that maybe you feel this might sound crazy, but some people feel like they have too much control over things in their life, while other people feel like they don't have enough control, or that they are afraid to have control. And I'm feeling like any fears that you have or issues that you may have with control could be stemming from this cord. I'm not, like I said, I can't really tell all the time who it is. And you didn't have any specific areas or people that you wanted me to focus on, so it's just kind of what's popping out that I'm taking from it. I'm hoping that you can at least identify these ones that I'm telling you. And so now we are going to cut this cord. And that way you will not have any more fears of control. The angels are telling me that, it's okay for you to be in control. It's okay for you to do what you want and to be free. Okay, I definitely want to make sure that cord was cut. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay, now I'm also seeing a cord here, which is around your right thigh. I'm not really feeling any additional information on it. It's just kind of there. I don't really feel like it bugs you. This may just be an acquaintance, someone that you've talked to every so often. But regardless, we're going to cut through this cord, and it's cutting through very nicely and easily. Now please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay, I'm also seeing one around your left foot. And I got the word that pops in my mind, the thought, rooting, which is interesting because you do have a root chakra. However, that is at the base of your spine. But I'm almost feeling like here, this cord is more like you have maybe a hard time staying, and I don't know if it's staying in one place, or like the word attention popped in my mind, like paying attention to a certain thing for long periods of time. Not always, but sometimes. An example could be you can sit and read a book for 3 hours straight one day, and then the next day you can sit down and read it for 3 minutes and already be ready to move on to something else. And it's almost like it just comes out of nowhere. And I'm trying to think of how to explain this. I don't know, it's like, it's almost as if sometimes you feel that you need to be doing something, that simply being isn't good enough. That it's a waste of time. Almost like, you can't just sit down and think. You have to be sitting down and being productive, which is a huge misconception, because we all deserve that time to just kind of do nothing and just enjoy being. And it's not like this happens all the time, but I feel like it's every now and again you get, those feelings and those thoughts coming in from this cord. So now we're going to cut through this cord so that way you can just kind of, enjoy life, enjoy at times laying around and doing nothing. That's okay. I'm going to cut through this cord. Now please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay, now this is very interesting because normally you don't see it here, but this is like your right, what is that, your calf muscle? I'm not too smart about, too intelligent, I guess you could say, about the various muscles on your body. So please forgive me if I am mistaken. Now here, I'm not really sensing who this could be connected to. I keep seeing pink and red though. And red is definitely like a color of pain, and sometimes even anger. But then the pink almost feels like, a lot of times pink can show a cord of someone that you had a romantic relationship with. So I'm not really sure what to think about this one. But sometimes when I do see the pink and red, it can come from, a lot of pain just caused by something that happened naturally, like you pulled a muscle, or there's maybe an athletic injury or something of that nature. So I'm not really sure what to think about that, and I don't want to jump to conclusions about this. But regardless, I feel like there is a cord here. I'm seeing a cord here, and that it needs to be cut. So I'm going to cut the cord now. And it cuts very easily, which is very good. Now please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay, yes. Right now, I'm seeing two things. The first one I see here is right around your third eye area. And I see something connecting to that chakra. And I almost feel like this cord is connected to, this might sound very strange, and it's not something I get very often, but I keep hearing and feeling school. I see books and books and books. And it makes me kind of question if you are possibly in teaching or a librarian, or if you are continuing your education, maybe wishing that you would, or that you feel connected to your old school, whether it's high school or college, university. So it's very, very interesting, because it's almost like your mind is on this. And, like I said, I can't really tell if it's like a thought, if it's a wish, if it's a want, or if it's something from the past. But I feel like for some reason this is kind of really just bringing you down to an extent sometimes, that it's absorbing your energy, it's taking your energy out of you. So we're going to now cut this cord. Okay. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this place or thought. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. And I apologize if you hear dogs barking in the background. We do have quite a few puppies. Old puppies, but still puppies. Okay. Now I'm once again feeling a cord right there at your right hand. And this kind of just popped out. There is another one that I saw earlier, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. Now this one I'm not really sure who it's connected to. I kind of get the sense of it's someone that you work alongside, or did work alongside, a co-worker of sorts. So this could be, I'm almost feeling as if it's an older cord, like you possibly haven't seen or talked to this person in a while. So we're going to cut through this cord though. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Now S, the one I saw earlier that we're going to jump back to, is right here connected to your throat chakra. It's right about there. So here's your third eye, there's your throat chakra, and your heart chakra is right down here. So here at your throat chakra, right now I'm not sensing who, but your throat chakra is more about speaking your opinion, having a voice. And I'm feeling like at times you either feel like you don't have a voice, like you can't, or don't really want to, explain yourself or say your opinion. Whereas other times you may feel like you talk too much, or you speak without thinking. You mention your thoughts and opinions without actually thinking them over and of how it'll affect other people. And it's almost like you will randomly bounce back and forth between the two. And this could be a cord connected to someone that possibly made you feel bad for, having a voice, for speaking your opinion. So we're going to cut through this cord. I'm almost seeing like an orangish color, which is very interesting, like a reddish orange. So we're just going to cut through this. Okay. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release all toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Now, as the next cord that I'm seeing is connected to your root chakra, which is right around here. It's at the base of your spine. So it's a little hard to show you because it's more towards the back of your body. And I'm also feeling like this cord has a lot to do with energy levels, where sometimes you may feel like it's go, go, go. But then other times just kind of like, I just want to go to sleep, I just want to lay down. But at the same time, you have that going through your mind of, okay, I need to do something, And I almost feel like sometimes you question who you are. Almost like self-discovery, like you're trying to still figure things out about yourself. So with this cord, we're going to cut it. And that way you won't get this like energy rush, like a sugar rush just of energy. And you also won't feel that drainage that this cord is causing. And it's cutting fairly easily, which is very good. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release all toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Now next here, I'm sensing around your sacral chakra, which is right above the root chakra. It's about 4 inches above your root chakra. And I'm almost feeling like this is a cord with an ex-lover, a past lover. I'm feeling like this is someone that you could possibly have thought about recently, that comes to your mind every so often. Possibly they come up in discussions and chats with people that you know. And we're going to cut through this cord because I feel like at times it can cause you some unrest or uneasiness, whether it's something that you sense or not. I feel like it can kind of create some tension. So we're going to cut through this cord. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release all toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. And another thing that I'm feeling is here on your left shoulder. And I'm feeling like there's a person of, I would say, that seems very close to you, or that was close to you. It doesn't really feel like it was long ago or anything. More like it's someone that's in your life now or recently was. A friend, and they mean well, but they seem to be someone that just dumps off their energy onto you and their problems and their feelings and everything. Like you were the person that they would call to rant about on the phone to for hours at a time about all their problems. And you, being the good person that you are, accepted that, and you helped them through it, and you listened. You were that ear that they needed, but you kind of put all that on your shoulders. It's kind of like I was talking about earlier, how this could manifest as, like almost an upper back type pain or shoulder pain, sometimes a crick in the neck, even on that side. So here I'm seeing it on your left side. And like I say, I feel that this person means well and meant well, but you just happen to be that kind of release for them, that person that they would let everything out to. And so you developed this cord where, they sent you all this negative energy when things weren't going well, and they sucked your energy out of you when they needed it. And so that will, of course, leave you drained sometimes, leaving you upset and worried and even scared and almost feeling, like I said, anxious earlier. Sometimes even a little paranoid or feeling sad or depressed for no apparent reason, just from out of the blue. And when something like that happens, it's very confusing because you're like, okay, why do I want to cry all of a sudden? Or, why do I suddenly want to just, kind of get in like a very fidgety state. So we're going to cut through this cord to kind of let you, reclaim that energy of yours that you've been losing. And also to take away this burden that this individual has, accidentally put on your shoulders. I'm going to cut through this. Okay. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay, yes. Now I'm feeling another one up here in your throat chakra. I feel like this individual wasn't always most pleasant with you, that they were more the one that would say bad things to you or about you, whether it was in front of you or behind your back. They were what we might describe as a negative Nancy, someone that never really had a good thing to say. So we're going to cut through this cord. It's cutting very easily, so hopefully it didn't really affect you that much, and if it did, well, it's gone now. Now S, please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Now, I'm also sensing a cord. It doesn't seem to be a very strong cord, so I'm wondering if it was just recently developed or if it has been cut possibly before or just never was a big problem, but I'm sensing it more around your solar plexus chakra, which is right around your belly button. This could possibly, because it's connected to your solar plexus, it could have to deal with random cravings or overeating or undereating even. any type of, food related. It could be health or it could not be. It's kind of hard to get across the point I'm saying. Something related to your, digestive area. I know a lot of people, when I sense a cord around this area, they do have, trouble with possibly certain foods like dairy. They could overeat or undereat. They could go through periods of being extremely hungry one day, and a few weeks later they have a day where they're just not hungry at all. And sometimes they even get stomach aches or pains when there's a cord there. So we're just going to remove this. Like I said, it's a thin cord. It's a very thin cord, not thick at all. It's very easy and light. We're cutting right through it. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Now also right around your root chakra. Let me see. Here we go. Right around your root chakra again, I'm sensing like a father figure. So this could potentially be your father. I'm sensing a cord connected to him. So remember, a cord of love will never be severed. We're just taking away any unhealthy part or negative part of this cord. And so we're going to sever this cord to get rid of anything negative that could be going between this cord, between both of you, whether it's to or fro. We're going to be getting rid of it. So we're cutting any unhealthy parts of this cord. Okay. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to your father or father figure. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay. I'm also feeling a cord right around this area, which would be around your left breast region. It could even be a heart pain that you may get or a chest pain. I'm not really sensing who it's connected to. But we're going to cut through this cord so that it no longer causes you any problems, whether it's something that you are aware of or not. This way, no unhealthy energies can travel between this cord because it will no longer exist. So we are cutting through it. Please take some deep breaths and be willing to release old toxic energies related to this individual. Be willing to detoxify yourself so that you can enjoy peace, health, and happiness. Okay. Now, as I'm not really sensing much else, so I am trusting that Archangel Michael is cutting the rest of the cords that I am not picking up on. He's cutting cords to anyone that you have a relationship with now or in the past, to any places or things. He'll cut the cord. Now, as I end this, I am going to be envisioning you in white light. Okay. Now, thank you very, very much for your patience for this etheric cord cutting, and thank you for allowing me to do this for you. It's been my pleasure. I hope that you've enjoyed this and that it has helped you heal. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, remember, please do not hesitate to email me or contact me. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have. So thank you very, very much, Ass. And I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Thank you.